guys, welcome to Jen's 3L Club. Today we're going to try a dish called stir-fried pork and smoked tofu. Right, tofu and pork are the most commonly seen dish at Chinese tables. So let's get started. The ingredients for this course is very simple. We have about 400 grams of pork. It's okay if the pork, actually we need to find the pork with a bit fat in it. It's like this. We're going to chop it off. And the skin actually is going to be very tough to chop. So if you don't like it, you can just cut it off. You can ask the butcher in the store to get rid of it for you. And also we got like some smoked tofu. This is about 200 grams. We're going to chop it off later also. And also I got some green peppers. These green peppers are the spicy kind. If you don't like very spicy, you can have the rounder, bigger, even sweeter kind of peppers. But for these ones, you can get rid of the seeds inside. Like before I shared in my video, just basically cut open from the middle of the peppers and then get rid of the seeds inside. And I got some 15 grams of ginger. So let's chop them off and get started. When we're cutting the pork, it's better to cut it more thin than thicker, so that when we cook it, the oil from this fat will come out much more easily. Now we'll start to cook. Put about 1 teaspoon of oil in the pan and let it heat. And then we'll add in the ginger we just cut. The ginger is supposed to take away and absorb some of the pork smell. It's one of the most commonly used home ingredients. After about 1 minute, we'll start to add in the pork. Stir it slowly from the beginning, and gradually the fat will start to make the oil from the fat. For cooking this dish, you need to stir fry from time to time in order to not burn your food. As you see, the stove is always on high. The pork starts to make out a bit more oil. Since this kind of pork has pretty much fat, so our target is to turn the fat to oil while frying it. As you see, like now we have pretty much oil now on the bottom of the pan. That's why we don't need to put a lot of oil from the beginning, because the pork fat is going to make plenty oil later on. And with this oil, we're going to fry the tofu and the green peppers. As we know, tofu and green peppers, they will absorb a lot of oil as well. You want to make sure that the food are stirred evenly as much as possible so we don't burn them. Some people like to have their food like softer. If you want to have the meat not as hard, you don't need to wait for too long. After we add in the tofu, we can stir fry. As you see, like the tofu gradually picks up the oil. And until its color is going to turn a bit light golden, we keep stirring. This takes about 2 to 3 minutes. As you see, the tofu already start to change the color. That means the tofu is being cooked. Now take a look at the pork meat. It has this kind of brownish color. Now we will add the green peppers. When we firstly adding any other ingredients, we try to stir fry it as even as possible, because then the heat, the oil will be even on the surface of each pieces of the food, just to make sure that they are all cooked well at the same time. Stir fry for another 2 minutes. We're going to add about 1 teaspoon of salt. You can always taste if you need a bit more salt, but 1 teaspoon is pretty much enough for this course. Now as you see, the green peppers are also turning color. We can turn the stove to medium-low just to stir the salt evenly. Take a look at that. Now the food is ready. We can start to dish up. The surface of the green pepper is fried. You can see that different color on top of it. So now our dish is finished, and let's try it out. We're gonna try one piece of tofu first to look at the color. It smells good and it's very tasty, like soft kind of tasty. What about the pork? That's the pork we chopped, was kind of thin. It has some meat on it and some fat and some skin. But as I said, if you don't like the skin, if you don't like the chewy kind of texture, you can get rid of the skin from the butcher's place. definitely smells good. Like barbecue kind of smell, you know. And what about the peppers? Make sure you don't cook your peppers for too long. If it's too soft, then you won't taste anything. So just make sure that the skin of the pepper has the kind of like light golden texture, like the look. So that means your food is totally done. And add your green peppers the last step, right? So I'm going to have my lunch now, and I hope you can cook this for your families. This can be good for 2 people. It's definitely delicious. It's worth trying. Trust me. So leave me comments and let me know if you tried it or not. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to cook something and you don't know how, just leave me comments. I will get back to you as soon as I see it. I will see you next time. Bye!